When it comes to Walt Disney World, are you booking the first resort you find just because it's the cheapest? Or are you taking one suggestion from a Facebook group and going with that before you do any further research? Trust me on this, as a mom who has taken her girls to Disney at every age between 0 and 4, there are a few things you need to be taking into consideration before choosing your resort. Hi there, I'm Kinsey, a Disney loving mama and travel agent, and welcome to our Sunday coffee chat. Before we dive in, I want to know what your caffeine drink of choice is, because we're doing coffee chats, but maybe you're not a coffee person. Or I know I always have hot coffee, that's my preference. Maybe you have iced coffee, so let me know your caffeine go-to drink of choice below in the comments. Jumping straight into the essentials for choosing the best Disney resort for you and your family, starting with budget. Obviously, budget is one of the biggest things that come into play when it comes to choosing the best resort for your family, because maybe you're really just wanting to go with the cheapest resort. And while I understand that, even if you're on a budget, you may not want to just go with the cheapest without looking at anything else, because there are some options that are just slightly above the cheapest that may work a little bit better for you depending on the vacation that you're looking for. If you have a little bit of a bigger budget and you're looking for more of a Disney vacation versus a Disney trip, i.e. you want it to feel a little bit more relaxing versus go, go, go all the time, then maybe you want to consider a moderate or a deluxe resort that has a few more amenities, even slides at the pools for your kiddos, and different things like that that you can enjoy more at your resort, because those higher up ones, if you have the budget for it, do have a little bit more of a vacation-y feel to them if you're going to be spending some more time there. And I do suggest finding some time, whether you're at a value, moderate, or deluxe resort, to enjoy your resort. We have been those people that are like, yeah, we're just gonna sleep there and we're gonna be in the parks, go, 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 Disney Springs, wherever else. So we're not too concerned about it, but trust me, there's a lot more to Disney World than the parks. Especially at your resorts, there's lots to offer. Characters will even come out. There's multiple pools, splash pads, all the different things. So I would highly consider finding some time to spend at your resort. And obviously your budget is going to play probably the biggest part in choosing your resort, but it shouldn't be the only thing, which leads me into the next thing to consider, which is location. If you're traveling with littles, location could be a huge thing to consider. For example, there are a handful of value resorts. So if you are trying to stick to more of a budget-friendly trip, instead of just selecting All-Star Sports because you see it's the cheapest, there are a couple other options that are still budget-friendly, but also have better location and better transportation options, i.e. Pop Century is one of the ones we've stayed at multiple times. It's one of my favorites to suggest, specifically for even families of 3 or 4. That applies to us because they are standard and preferred room. There's not any suites or fifth sleepers here. But even if you're going with multiple other families, like we've gone with my parents and my sister, we stayed at Pop at that time to stick to more of a budget. And then we all had our own rooms and just requested close or adjoining rooms. So it's great for scenarios like that too. But the reason the location's great is because it is on the Skyliner route. So you can take the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios or to Epcot, which helps you avoid the buses to every single park. And not only that, there are other resorts that are moderate or deluxe on the Skyliner route. So during your break day, more of a rest day, you can do some resort exploring there. Another thing you might want to consider is like the Boardwalk resorts, which has walking distance to Epcot and even Hollywood Studios. Also, you can get on the Skyliner from the Boardwalk, not to mention that the Boardwalk has its own activities going on each evening. You can see the Epcot fireworks from the Boardwalk. So one, being close to your resort and being that walking distance from Hollywood Studios and Epcot is perfect for midday breaks, midday naps, and then it gives you some more options to do around your resort on your actual rest days and break days. Or even if you know you're going to do Magic Kingdom multiple days, you're going to do 2 days at Magic Kingdom while you're there, then maybe you want to consider one of the resorts that is on the monorail loop closest to Magic Kingdom. So again, you can just leave Magic Kingdom, walk to your resort, take a nap, and walk back. There's so many things to consider with your resort when it comes to location, depending on what type of vacation you're looking for you and your family. And the last thing I want to talk about is the theming and or amenities. So theming can be huge. If you have little ones, they might like the larger than life big character theming at the value resorts. Even if you're planning to do a little bit more of a budget, then maybe you want to consider some of the themed rooms at Art of Animation. They have family suites that are themed to Finding Nemo, Lion King, Cars, and then they even have Little Mermaid standard rooms. So that might be something that they enjoy. Or maybe have a Princess and the Frog fan like we've had multiple times. Granted, we haven't stayed there with the girls yet, but if you have a huge Princess and the Frog fan, Riverside, Port Orleans resorts might be a good option for you. If you know you're going to spend a couple days at the pool and your kiddos are big into slides and just fun pool days, then you probably want to consider a moderate or deluxe resort because they have more options when it comes to slides, splash pads, etc. for a longer day at the pools. Or if you even have a big animal lover, maybe you want to consider Animal Kingdom Lodge, where you can see some of those safari animals like the zebras, the giraffes from your balcony specifically. Maybe that's something that would be huge to your family. And don't forget that you can do a split stay. So maybe you're like, yeah, that would be really cool because our little one loves animals, but we also still want to lean more towards the budget-friendly side. Maybe do the first 2 nights at Animal Kingdom and your last 3 to 4 nights at a value resort. That's always an option as well. So taking into consideration all of these things is huge when it comes to choosing the best resort for your family specifically. Finally taking a drink of this because it was really hot. With 25 plus resorts on Disney World property, even narrowing your options down after going through some of these things can still feel like a challenge when it comes to picking the best resort for your stay, which I totally understand. I've been there. I've bounced back and forth depending on the type of trip we're going for. So this is something that I help all of my families with, make personal suggestions based off of what makes the most sense for your family. So if that's something you're interested in, I will link my complimentary services below for when you're ready to start planning. Thanks for chatting with me. I hope you guys have a great week and I will see you in the next one.